Hi, this is Anise, and if you know me at all, you know that I love bugs, and in Pokemon, I love bug decks. So I've taken it upon myself to try and make as many bug decks as possible. This one is not a strict bug deck. It is bug-ish, spider, with something else. But it is a combination of cards that I've found works really, really well. It's really fun to play. It's a fully no EX deck. I'm not going to go and say it's meta, but it's pretty fun. So if you want a fun deck to play around with, this might be one. So it's called a Toucannon Do It, and it is an Araquanid and Toucannon deck. So you're going to want 2 Dewpiders, 2 Araquanid, 2 Pikipek, 2 Toucannon, 2 Rare Candy, 1 Pokeball, 1 Giant Cape, 2 Professor's Research, 2 Irida, 1 Ilima, 2 Lana, and 1 Misty. And you're going to want to set your energy to water. And allow me to explain the beauty of this deck. So this deck basically utilizes 2 of the new trainer cards that came out with Celestial Guardians. Araquanid and Lana go very well together. Lana is basically like Victory Bell's select another card. It's like Sabrina, Cyrus, and Victory Bell's ability, but better. You can select any of the benched Pokemon as long as you have Araquanid in hand. Well, actually not even in hand, as long as it's played on the bench. It doesn't have to be in the active spot. You can play Lana and pick any card you want to be in the front. So if you want to one-shot something, or you want to put a card at the front that can't retreat very easily so you can tank a little bit, it works very well, even, again, if Araquanid isn't charged up. Araquanid's special feature, so it doesn't have the highest HP, it's only 110. And it does take 3 energy, which for 60 seems like, a lot of energy for not very much. But if the opponent's active Pokemon is a basic, it will do 120. So this is really effective against cards like Celebi, Giratina, Darkrai. I think all of those basic EXs that were dominating the previous meta. It is going to be very effective against those and deliver a pretty good hit. Honestly, by the time Araquanid is ready, you've probably already delivered a lot of chip damage to everything else. So even just doing 60 might be good. That's also why there's a Misty. If your RNG luck is good, you might get that water energy in advance. On the other hand, Pikipek and Toucannon remind me a lot of Beedrill. So Pikipek is, 50 HP, only does 20 damage. It's not very strong, but Toucannon, slightly better than Beedrill because it's got 140 HP, so it's a much higher HP level, and for 1 single energy will deliver 70. So if you're lucky enough to get Rare Candy in your evolution in your first line, you could be hitting 70 damage by turn 3. But if you are unable to do that, not a problem. You may have a Giant Cape on hand, so you can give Starly a little bit more HP. Or you could have Ilima, whose special ability is to take one of your colorless cards out of play and back into your hand. So as long as you have something else on the bench, it's like Budding Expeditioner or Koga. As long as it has some damage on it, in order for it to not get one-shot the next turn, you can just take it out. You have 2 Starlies on the bench, or 1 Toucannon with a lot of damage and 1 Starly. Take it out, play your Rare Candy, get the Toucannon on again, and you've already regenerated its health. So this is one good way of essentially having more than 1 Toucannon if you need to. If you really want to rely on being able to have more Toucannon, you might need to get a Trum Beacon as well, because obviously once you spend the candy, you can't get the candy back. Irida, obviously very good, because you probably, by the time you're using Irida, will have water energy on most of your Pokemon that are waiting on the bench and on the active spot. So Irida will be able to more or less heal everything. And then we have already discussed what makes Lana so great, which is you can basically pick and choose which Pokemon you want to hit. So you could ostensibly force someone's card in the front, hit them really hard with Toucannon, maybe one-shot a basic, or get an EX card that's a basic and get it to be very heavily hit by Araquanid, or you could conversely pick a very tanky card that can't retreat very easily, and then deal a lot of damage there whilst you get to set everything up. So it's a very sneaky deck, and I personally enjoy the 2 different abilities and qualities that both of these lines have, and I think they work with really good synergy with one another, because whilst one does require a lot of energy, it provides the extra benefits of Lana by simply evolving it, and Toucannon, once he's up, is a pretty heavy hitter. And now, next up, I'm going to have some battles that I did on stream. I might add some other that I sort of record separately, because truthfully, this deck did not perform very well on stream, but usually it performs very well when I am playing by myself. And I do think that this deck is a lot of fun to play, and on average, does a lot better than one would expect a no-EX deck to do these days. And I'll concede. Let's try that again. Silly game makes us split from we've. I've had very bad draw luck. Yeah. Okay, let's concede. We'll do one more. So I'm gonna do this and concede, and I'm gonna give it 1/4 final try. But this is Araquanid's special skill. It does 120 damage. Anyway, it's over. All right. Oh, but does this count? Because they have to turn it into Golisopod. Oh no! Okay, this is so sad for them, because they needed to evolve it before putting it on the bench. And this is why that little is a pain in the ass, because you have to time it perfectly. I'm gonna do one more battle. Assuming it becomes Rampardos, which means it does 50 damage to itself. Of course, it might just become Craniodon, in which case, then he wins. How poetic. But I like the idea. They conceded. You know, we could have been a tie. Maybe they didn't have anything. Okay. Anyway, that's all from me today. I really hope you enjoyed this. And as always, I will see you in the next one. And if you enjoyed this and you want to see me battle live, I stream on Twitch 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, from 12 to 6 p.m. LA time. So if you'd like to catch me sometime, you know where to find me. Thank you for watching. Bye.